way too cool.
But I want to jump into this Jubilee video that you did.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
That was something.
what was this? How did you even get a part of this?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, dude, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, jeez. It was difficult because, first of all, Mikey will tell you, that thing was 85 degrees in there, okay? And
really?
That did not come across. I'm telling you, that thing was, they hotboxed us in there, okay? No, I'm not right, Mikey. I'm wearing like I am sweating through. I mean, so I think they wanted it hot to try to increase the tensions of the room.
Totally.
Number two, and I have no hard feelings against Jubilee. They were great and honest brokers and actors, except for one thing. They say that it was 25 college kids. Half of them were college kids. Half of them were like professional TikTok debaters. Again, I'll debate anybody.
The Parker kid.
Yeah, and then also Dean and some of these other people. I have no issues with any of it. I'll debate anybody anytime. Great.
But they set you up.
Well, they sort of did. Like when you think of a college kid, you think of like some meandering kid after an econ class. I don't care. Again, I'll debate anybody anytime. But it's also like, okay, this kid has 1 million TikTok followers and he's getting his master's degree in economics. Like, okay, that's a little bit different. Again, no issue. I thought it went very, very well. I thought they were hyper emotional, constantly try to change the topic. I don't quite understand the red flag thing. It was very bizarre when they were all just trying to raise the red flags.
Anytime it got somewhere good, then because they didn't like that you were making a point, then they would put the flags up so it would end.
Yeah, I mean it's gone.
Have you talked to Parker since?
No.
I haven't met this man. I've never heard of this man. But when I saw him debating, a part of me was like, I love the way this guy debates. I could see why people would understand why they're listening.
I disagree. I thought it was I think I'm with you.
No, hold on. I'm not even finished.
It's very disingenuous.
No, I think that if he has a passion of debating, but I think he's still young. I think his passion's there, and I think he could be fighting for the right thing.
He's very smart.
I think how old is he? He's young.
Smart.
Yeah, he's like 21.
Yeah, he's young. I think that if he really because you got to remember, even Candace Owens was on the wrong side of the fence. But then once she developed her skills of how to speak to people, when she came to our side, she's a great representation of what we need.
That's a fair point.
I want to see this kid learn and develop. I think what happens, this is my perspective. I don't know who this kid is, but I think he's getting a lot of people encouraging the way that he's behaving. So he's like speaking above you and talking fast and not letting you speak. And I think once he learns that, like, hey, you should listen to the person that's talking to you, he might be able to digest what those people are saying. And then he can come and argue for us.
Sure. I mean, look, we were trying to debate about college, and he comes in and he's trying to ask me about like epistemological questions of God.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we stay focused? And then he would like berate and mock me for not wanting to debate this very like unrelated topic that he wants to debate. And so that is by definition a disingenuous debater. I will say one thing: the kid Dean. There's a big internet thing about him. They're trying to cancel him because he said the N-word when he was a kid. I actually want to come to his defense. I haven't said this publicly. Again, I thought he was actually a really sweet kid when I met him. I think it's totally wrong. I don't care if you say the N-word when you're 14, 15, 16 years old. It's called being a kid. You do stupid, dumb stuff. And so there are a lot of people trying to cancel Dean. I think it's totally wrong. And like liberals are trying to cancel him and conservatives. So I just want to put that in there. I think we have to be very principled about it. And like, he's getting all these people that are trying to disassociate. Very smart kid. I actually think Dean is more likely to one day become more conservative because he's intellectually honest. Again, the Parker thing was just so ridiculous at times. Again, just so understands, anyone that is not like a far left-wing zealot would text me about it and be like, this kid is like deranged. I mean,
no, he definitely had some type of, it felt like, and I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful. It seemed like he was on some type of drug that he was like speaking really quick.
You know when you're nervous and you're trying to get your point across, and so you're like, you have to say it all, and it was just so exhausting.
No, again, I understand. I want you to understand the context. 85 degrees. I have to defeat every one of them, so they're all fresh. Okay, so I want you to understand the equivalent. It would be like I have to beat 25 people in one-on-one basketball. And I don't get a break. Okay, and again, I'm sweating through this suit. It's as hot as the Caribbean. Okay, and.
Well, and it's difficult because you're sitting across, I think, like, and certainly from college students, you're more emotional, and if something bothers you, you kind of like to react with an insult.
Well, and then they're also like heckling me. And by the way, they didn't even, you couldn't hear the audio. They're like chanting at me and like, come on, white boy, come on. Like, like who is talking to me right now?
Just FYI, everybody here's white. Like,
well, there was some not white people. But yeah, and then these other people are like chirping at me.
Yeah.
Being like, you're lucky we didn't bring up January 6th. And so I'm like chirping back here, and this girl is wishing my daughter gets raped. And like,
I know.
That's a real thing.
I just watched clips, dude. I can't handle
no,
a
it's
whole
a
hour.
I like
of
the
that.
one point where somebody else was talking and you put them in check and you're like, but you be faster next time if you want to talk. Because they were talking when they weren't their time. It was so good.
Yeah, okay,
but
so,
I also...
Oh, sorry, go.
No, it's okay.
Well, it actually does add to this. How do you feel about when people say that you only come after college students?
Well, it's not true. I've debated professors, PhDs. That's number one. I'll debate anybody at any time. You can go look at my debates. Literally, I have like 10 or 12 debates against people that are literal PhDs. I didn't go to college. That's number one. Number two, if it's 1 on 25, don't you think it's a little bit more fair? I mean, again, number three, though. But hold on. I just want to understand. Implied, that's not your question. I understand. But I want to, embedded in the question is this idea that like college kids don't vote or don't have rights. Aren't the most important people to talk to are the stakeholders of the next generation?
Yeah.
These are kids that could serve in our military. They can vote. Let's stop talking down to these kids and start talking to them and hearing them. And again, my college campus tours have evolved over the years. I'm not here to punk you or make you look bad. I'm literally trying to teach. And I think if I'm teaching, how is it any different than what a professor does on campus with these kids? And so it's like a silly thing. They'll say, oh, Charlie only debates college kids. Like, okay, literally, I've sat down with Ben Burgess, for example, who's a PhD professor from Georgia, and we debated socialism for 2 hours. I'll debate anybody, anytime, any place, politician, current, former, old, young, you name it. And it just so happens in that one, they were like, yeah, 1 against 25. I was like, okay, you know.
First of all, that's seriously sick that you could even have the confidence to do that. But through that whole situation between you and Parker, I know it's a little irritating, and I know we're all here laughing, but there's a lot of children that are on his side of the fence that watched the way he reacted and was like, this doesn't seem like he's very confident in what he's saying. He's being very, what is it, gaslighting? This is what these kids are saying? Like,
yeah.
They're
he would answer
gaslighting.
his question and then be like, you didn't answer my question.
Yeah,
He did.
so... as much as we could understand that that's foolish, but I think a lot of people did learn from it. I think it opened up a lot of people's eyes. Would you ever be open to sitting down with him again and speaking to him?
Parker, I mean, that's maybe, yeah, I mean, he'd have to clean up his act. Dean, for sure, and I actually have a heart for Dean in a way, not in a romantic way, obviously, but like,
Yes.
I have a heart for that kid. Like, I actually think
So funny that you said that.
Well, I mean, because society is so
so
sick,
funny.
right? But no, I think he's on a journey of intellectual discovery, and I feel bad for him that he's getting rolled all over the internet because of something he said when he was 16. I think that's super unfair. Because you think about it, like this is something he said when he was 16 in private DMs. He goes viral on this video because of me and the other video, and next thing you know, his entire history gets like he didn't ask for that. So I think that's super unfair. But yeah, I mean, I'll talk to anybody. I will talk to anybody, any place, as long as they don't exist to troll and they're doing it in good faith. If you come in good faith, I'll talk to any time. Parker's right on the edge of good faith, though. It's not a good faith acting at times.
But you got to remember, he's young, dude. He might be influenced by his people.
Fair enough. Then he has to act older and mature.
Yes.
To warrant another sit down.
Got it.
Right.
I think, and this might be shooting my shot out there. I would love to have both of you guys on the show sitting down, and not that I'm a mediator, because people would know that I agree a lot more with your ideas. But I think that if you guys had a place and a setting where it wasn't timed, and you didn't have people saying that your daughter was getting raped, like I think it would be a little bit more of like, let me actually understand your point of view. But that sit down where it's like crossfire and it's points, and let me take out the guy who takes everybody out. It looked to me more like a royal like battle than it did. Like,
well, yeah, and I'm like trying to fend off as soon as I have a good attack, boom, another one comes, and boom, another one comes. It was a very unusual format.